standing in their way. The only way they see to get to the other side is by going through the mountain. The only items at their disposal are a few tools and their own 2 hands. Shovel by shovel, they begin to work, hollowing out a tunnel. At first, the work is easy, but as the tunnel deepened, they came across a few obstacles. With each passing second and each shovelful that they removed, they became more nervous, and they feared that the deeper they dug, the more likely it was that the tunnel would cave in on them. Minor setbacks here and there delay their progress, and just when all hope was lost, a single ray of light appeared. And then, bam! Light pours in as they realize they have done it. They have reached the other side of the mountain. Now, this story sounds like something straight off the big screen, right? A tale of hard work and dedication that pays off in ways the characters believed unimaginable. But in the movie of my life, this scene takes place on my family's farm during my childhood when my brother and I would test our skill as we tried to dig a tunnel through a massive sand pile. We would travel to this other world where we were the explorers, the sand pile was our mountain, and the only tools we had were our own 2 hands and a few stray sticks and rocks. We tried countless times over the years, but one thing was for sure. We had a gigantic task ahead of us and the determination to match. If you had asked me back then what I wanted to be when I grew up, I probably would have said, I want to be an explorer or an inventor. During my childhood, I went through a long list of potential careers, including lawyer, teacher, vet, and even a professional 4-wheel rider. My future career was always changing, depending on what I was into at the time. And while some of these careers may not have been realistic futures, one thing was for sure. When I found something that I liked doing, you can bet I was determined to make it my passion. But what truly defines a passion? A passion is considered to be something that you become extremely excited or enthusiastic about. The driving force behind your actions. Passions can be short and always changing, just like my childhood passions, or they can last a lifetime. Each one of us has something that we are passionate about, whether we figured it out already or if we're still trying to find our path. What are you passionate about? Just like that big screen movie scene where the explorers tunneled through the mountain, each of our lives is an exploration to uncover our true passion in life. We are all moving through our lives searching for the Holy Grail, whether that be happiness, success, or love. Whatever our end goal is, our passion is always pushing us, serving as the true north of our internal compass. Throughout your exploration of life, you must first lose yourself and then let love be your compass, and let all of your actions be guided by your true north. Now, I'm a fan of traveling, and I'd have to say I'm a pretty good navigator, but if I can't seem to find my way on my own, I know I always have good old Siri to get me there by the shortest route possible. So I don't tend to get lost pretty easily. But when I do, oh boy, you can bet I start to panic. So it seems only fitting that out of all of my childhood memories, one stands out pretty distinctly. On this particular day, my mom, my brother, and I had been shopping at Byler's. As we go to leave, my mom informs me that she is going to try this new back way to get us home. Because a few weeks earlier, we've been shopping with my mom when she had shown us this awesome new back way. Immediately, door because this sounds like an adventure. What 6-year-old doesn't like a little adventure? So we get in the car and we're driving along, and everything seems to be fine, right until I hear my mom say the 2 words that no kid ever wants to hear their parents say while in the car. Uh-oh. I perk up a little in my seat and ask what's going on. Immediately, I start panicking. Do we pop a tire? Do we run out of gas? Oh no, it was much, much worse. I could hear the panic in my mom's voice when she said, I think we might be lost. What? Lost? No way, this cannot be happening. We're lost in the middle of nowhere and we are never making it home. I wouldn't even be able to say goodbye to my grandparents and the cows, and no, this cannot be happening. I swear at 6 years old, I saw my life flash before my eyes. I look to my right, and my brother is playing with his toys? How did he not understand how serious this was? My mom tried to calm me down, but her voice gave her away. She was just as scared as I was. We decide we need to call for help. First, we try my dad. No answer. Then, we try my grandfather. Perfect, he'll know just what to do. As I'm sitting in the back seat of our trusty blue minivan, I hear the following conversation. Hey, I think you might be lost. I'm not really sure where we are. I think maybe Maryland? Okay, bye. Maryland? We were all the way in Maryland? There is no way we're getting home from here. Okay, Mom, what's the plan? What did he say? Well, he said to just turn around. Turn around? That's it? Okay, well, I guess it can't get any worse. So we turn around and we head back the same way we came. And eventually, after what seemed like hours, we finally made it home. Let me tell you, I had never been more excited to be back on Blackstone Church Road before in my life. By a show of hands, how many people have ever found themselves completely lost like this before? How many people have ever felt so lost that they have no idea what to do next? Take a look around. You are not the only one. A lot of times in life, we tend to feel lost, whether that be physically, like 6-year-old me, spiritually, or mentally. It is in times like these that we find what we are truly passionate about. 6-year-old me was passionate about her cows and her family. And after my experience of being completely lost in Maryland of all places, I began to cherish time spent with my family and on the farm with the cows as if they could have all been gone in the blink of an eye. When we tend to feel lost and we feel like we have no idea what to do next, the best way to figure it out is to get lost. Yep, that's what I said. Get lost. Get lost in a specific action, lose yourself in thought, or even take a drive. And when it's all said and done, hopefully, you will find clarity. If you lose yourself in action and come out on the other side thinking that you really, truly enjoyed yourself, then you have found your passion. If you get lost deep in thought and find that one particular thing keeps coming up over and over again, then you have found your passion. As scary as it sounds, and trust me, I've been there. Get lost, and over time, you will begin to find the one thing that you are truly passionate about. By show of hands again, how many people have ever traveled outside of Delaware? Okay. How about out of the country? Right? How many people have ever traveled to our nation's capital? Over the past couple of years, I've had the opportunity to travel to new places and meet new people from across the country. About 8 months ago, I found myself in a car with one of my teammates traveling to Washington, D.C. to attend State President's Conference. Obviously, I was driving because there was no way Molly was getting us across the Bay Bridge. But while we were in D.C., we explored our nation's capitals, attended workshops, and every night attended a session to reflect on the day that had passed. On one particular night, I was enlightened on a state president's conference tradition. You see, each year, the state officers that attended SPC were given a letter written to them by the previous year's state officer. Not knowing anything about this, I was surprised to see a letter from the previous state president with the words 2017, 2018, Delaware FFA, state president. As I read this letter for the first time, I was deeply impacted by the words that were scrawled out on the pages in front of me. Over the past 8 months, I have kept this letter with me on the inside pocket of my FFA jacket. I keep it with me for reassurance during times when I doubt myself or I feel that I've lost my way or strayed off path. When these moments occur, I take a few minutes, find a quiet place, and I read the letter. Each time I read this letter, I am reminded of my purpose and the reason that I am where I am in life. Until today, I've never really told anyone about this letter, but if it's okay with you all, I would like to share a small excerpt from the letter that has meant so much to me over the past 8 months. During this year, your capacity to love will reach further than you ever thought possible. And the important thing to remember is that you must let love be your compass. You will be drawn in so many directions, but despite the doubts, feelings of overextension, and complications that arise this year, it is your duty to let your heart be your compass and allow your love to carry further and extend deeper than ever before. Your love and lust for life is what truly shines through during your year. And while it will be hard, deepening your love for everything is the answer to every question, doubt, and concern that you may have. If you doubt yourself, remember to love yourself more than ever before. If you doubt your journey, remember the love for this organization that brought you here. If you're not sure where to go, love everything more than ever before. Let love be your compass. Throughout my year of service, these words have stuck with me. If I'm doing something that I love, then haven't I found my passion? What is something that you love doing? When you find yourself being constantly pulled towards one specific idea or action, then chances are you have found something that you enjoy doing. We've all heard time and time again that following your heart is the easiest thing to do. But is the answer just that simple? You know yourself better than anyone else, so why not clear your mind of every doubt, fear, concern, and insecurity and move blindly towards your passion? Let love be your compass. If you find yourself at a point in life where you're not sure what to do, love can always be your answer. Love the people around you, the people that have helped you get this far. Love your past experiences, for they have gotten you to where you are today. And most importantly, always love yourself and the things that make you, you. This past January, for the first time in my life, I was able to travel outside of the country as I spent 2 weeks in South Africa as part of the International Leadership Seminar for State Officers, or ILSSO. While there, I was able to explore the wonders of South Africa, as well as visit local farms and other agricultural operations. But one of the coolest places that I got to visit during my time in South Africa was the African Leadership Academy. The African Leadership Academy is a private school that takes top-performing students from various countries across the continent and provides them with leadership and entrepreneurial skills over a 2-year period. The mission of the African Leadership Academy is to prepare the next generation of world leaders and provide students with education that they might not get. While there, one of the faculty members shared the story of a student named Joseph with our group. Meet Joseph. Joseph grew up in a refugee camp in Uganda, where he endured very harsh living conditions. But instead of settling for a hard life, Joseph decided to make a change in his community. At a young age, Joseph created a nonprofit organization that helped young leaders overcome some of the greatest challenges that their communities faced. Joseph also ran a tutoring program in his own community. He did all of this before the age of 18. Can you imagine creating a nonprofit organization and single-handedly running a tutoring program all before the age of 18? Joseph then went on to attend the African Leadership Academy, but he never forgot where he came from. During his time at the academy, he began to develop a proposal to build a secondary school in the refugee camp in Uganda where he grew up. Joseph attended conferences where he presented his proposal in the hopes of gaining financial support. After one of these presentations, Joseph was approached by a man that represented Curtis Jackson. Does anyone know who Curtis Jackson is? Well, he's more commonly known as the rapper 50 Cent. The man told Joseph that he had been so moved by his story that he had called Mr. Jackson, and Mr. Jackson had agreed to donate $20,000 to help Joseph build his school. Joseph did just that. He returned to Uganda where he built a secondary school that now has a population of over 600 students. Yeah. When I heard Joseph's story, I got goosebumps. Joseph was dealt a hand that most of us couldn't even imagine. But because he was so dedicated to providing education to the students in his community, he didn't stop until that school was built. Joseph's true north led him back to Uganda where he used his love of his community and his love of education to help those around him. Was there a time in your life that you used something you love to help others? When we love without thinking twice, just like Joseph did, over time we will begin to stumble upon our passion. Maybe slowly, maybe all at once, but when you do, you will know that you are where you should be. Because if you have found your passion, then you can be truly happy and have no regrets. Alexander Denhire once said, "One of the beautiful effects of living your passion is that it inspires others to live theirs." Through this organization, I have seen this amazing chain reaction play out. 6 years ago, I was a shy freshman who didn't dare venture far from her comfort zone. And now, standing before you, I have found my passion. To the advisors that pushed me, I can only hope that one day I will be able to help others find their passions, just as you've helped me find mine. To my teammates, your dedication to others inspires me to be better every day. To the members, thank you for sharing with me a small glimpse of your passions and for helping me find mine. Each one of you has had a tremendous impact on my life, and I could not be more grateful. When I was a kid, I had many passions, always changing, always growing. But if you were to ask me now what I want to do when I grow up, I may not have that simple answer of my dream profession. Instead, I would say that when I grow up, I want to be passionate. I want to get lost in the things I love most and let my passions guide me to the things that make me truly happy. Each one of you has the ability to make life outstanding if you are brave enough to go after the things that make you truly happy. I challenge each of you to lose yourself in life and let love be your compass, and before you know it, your passion in life will lead you to the exact place that you want to be. Delaware FFA members and guests, get lost, let love be your compass, and find your true north.